Welcome, the War Chief of Light is back with an epic video. Hi, my name is ffxiv, but you lovely people are more than welcome to call me Peebs. Now, today we are discussing The Rising, and to be perfectly honest, it's felt a little different this year. So, we'll discuss that, alright? And, for our first time players, our Sprouts first Rising. Well, The Rising is honestly my favorite in-game holiday. And it's basically the game's anniversary. However, what makes it special in Final Fantasy XIV is they give you a cute little story, because of course they do, and then they have a message from Yoshi P himself, basically thanking you for playing the game, thanking you for being along the journey, and some kind of inspirational thought based on the story that you got. So usually it's pretty sweet, heartfelt, and very, very good. Now this year is the 10-year anniversary of A Realm Reborn, so we had some big expectations. We hit some, we missed some, and we'll discuss. So, if you have not done The Rising, now's the time. You need to realize we're about to hit into spoiler territory, so go do that, come back, let's discuss. I'm going to say something that's controversial, or at least I think is controversial, I don't know. This year's Rising, to me, the story only, felt like a sales pitch or an idea sell of Dawn Trail. They're not selling you a product, they're selling you an idea. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. This story is about Nagi, which I really like that reference. But Nagi coming back, he's struggling being an adventurer, and he needs to reconnect with what made him be an adventurer. So the big themes of this story is really going back to your roots and rethinking what made you become an adventurer. What made you play the game, really. And tap into that so that you can go forth, find new adventure. Right? There's a small section about, like, don't have to do things alone, which Endwalker's big themes, other than despair and nihilism, really was, you are not alone. You fighting despair, but remember, you are not alone. Which, incredible life lesson, end point, like, huge life lesson. I think everyone should really stop and think on that. But we really had a chance to hammer that home to kind of finish off Endwalker. But no, instead, we've got the, hey, I need you to think back, what made you adventure? Okay, so I think that's what they're trying to do, is set up Dawn Trail in our minds. Like, okay, new adventure, new things, back to basics, which I'm not against. But it kind of fucked with the vibe, if that makes any sense. So was The Rising, bad? No. Was it offensive? No. Was Yoshi P's message super sweet? Always is. But the vibe was off on it, and I think that really hit. Another negative that I found, and this is just might be me reading too far into it, go ahead, call me out if I am. Yoshi P's character, the minstrel, and his own, repeat that this year was tough and they felt like giving up, but they pushed through for us, for you, for the game. And it really makes me wonder, is repeating that sentence indicative of the shitty year that Yoshi P may have had? Which, if that's the case, then I wish he'd say that outright. Hey, listen, last year was hard. Fucking hard. Because the reality is, one, we can have shitty years, period, end point. You can have a great job, great career, great situation, great money, and still have a shitty year. It happens. It's human. And two, if this is your real first shitty year in 12 years, you're doing fantastic. You're better than most people. You know what I mean? So yeah, go ahead, say it. Be proud of the fact that, you know what, listen, I had a shit year, but we overcame it. We're doing good. I'm on that path. Let's go. I'm also curious on a professional level, just because I'm a big nerd. I'd love to see if maybe this year was rough for other reasons, like what the lessons learned look like, especially from AR. What did the lessons learned look like? How did they overcome some stuff? And how did he overcome? Was it a mental block? Was it a work block? You name it. Curious, but again, if they don't want to go into detail, that's cool. That's the negatives. And as you can see, they are very, very lukewarm, just vibe feeling off type negatives and maybe a side comment. The rest was pretty good. Now, usually the Rising gets me. I cry every fucking time, but to be fair, I'm a crier. I do cries, okay? And I did really good. Yoshi P's message, I'm like, we're good. Do you know what sent me? The written message at the end. And we discussed this on Twitter because it hit so different for everybody. And the reason why is font. With memories shared, yet all our own, as one we brave frontiers unknown, thank you for 10 years. Whew. Come on, hold it. I almost did it. The last message did begin. Really? Fucking font. Think about this. In Japanese, it was very obviously a font. In English, it kind of looks like it's a handwritten note. It's not. It's font. However, talk about how font can like psychologically change shit. It felt like a handwritten note. It felt a little more personal by choosing that font. So when I read that thank you message at the end, which honestly was just a summary of what Yoshi P said, gone, I cried. Of course I did. But that genius of making us feel like that was a handwritten note. Nailed it. Another positive, we had the mount. Holy Christ, we had the mount. The mount is fantastic. The mount is 11 out of 10. It's cool that you get to transform into the Phoenix, but I mean, like, just the Phoenix itself, I could just ride the damn Phoenix. I was happy with that. If you didn't do Coils of Bahamut, go do it. This mount will hit you harder if you did it. No spoilers, go do it. It was so good. The only thing they could have done that would have made me, like, scream is if somebody could ride the mount. You become the mount, and someone could ride your back. That would have been fucking cool. Listen, I'm asking a lot. I get that. But it's one of those, wouldn't it have been cool if? I'm not mad at the mount. The mount's fantastic. Okay. The best part of the Rising, though, the one that killed me, that destroyed me, that every player should do, the letters. The in-game story of the letters is, hey, these are letters from other adventurers talking about their adventures. When you go read them, you realize really fast that they're from Square Enix staff. Thanking you for the most part, or what they do in the game that brings them joy. And holy shit, some of them are silly, some of them are cute, some of them make me cry. Okay, a lot of them made me cry. A lot of them. Some of them you actually recognize some people who wrote those letters. So again, it was so good. And this is what we live for with the Rising, okay? This is what makes it next level. It was so good. And this is not throwing shade. Do not consider this throwing shade. But wouldn't it be cool if stuff like Warcraft had a Rising type event? Like, yeah, they have an anniversary event and bonus XP, some kind of thing. Maybe an old dungeon, which an old dungeon for Final Fantasy 14, like an old ARR, pre-ARR dungeon would have been cool, but I digress. Either way, a event to say thank you to the player like that, where it's a little more personal, I think every MMO could take that example. Like, Warcraft, if you take anything from Final Fantasy 14, the letters and controller support are the thing that you should be grabbing to, okay? And of course, I can't make this video without talking about the Mini Moogle game. Holy fuck, that's cute. Holy fuck, that's fun. It's fantastic. 11 out of 10. No notes. No notes. Fuck it. Let's do it the Koopa Koopa adventure. Huh. What the fuck? That was hard. Okay. That is cute as shit. What the hell, man? That's pretty fucking cool. That is awesome. Back to the point at hand. The reality is, the Rising felt different. I don't know what I expected walking in for the AR-10, but the idea of selling, the idea of Dawn Trail wasn't what I had in mind. And that's fine. Okay? The rest, like usual, was an 11 out of 10. I really did enjoy it. I did hear some complaints that some people were like, hey, listen, you could have done a little more, maybe more of pre-ARR to show us the differences, maybe some of the events. Even playing the cutscene for ARR in the quest line would have been kind of cool. They could always do more. But I think this was okay. Again, I think a dungeon would have been real cool, like a pre-ARR, just a quick wiener type encounter, quick and easy, but just to remind you of what it was, or the boss. Anyway, maybe we're looking in a little bit too deep, but the Rising was good. It was good. It was great. But I can't help but feel it was just a little off. Or maybe it's me, it's going off the rails. Listen, that's very possible. Let me know if I'm going crazy, okay? Truly. If you do like videos like these, you like looking at Final Fantasy XIV, you like nerdy stuff in general, like I like all the nerdy stuff. All of it. All of it. You know what to do. Subscribe, ring the bell. I stream on here. I stream on Twitch. I'm on all of the socials. Listen, Google War Chief Peebs. Everything. That's me. It is me. You see the red? It is me. You can find me. In the meantime, though, have yourselves a legendary day. Thanks so much for being here, and I can't wait to see you guys again on the next one. Bye. Hey. This section's usually left for some kind of witty, or I think is witty, or silly little joke that I'm making about the video, but like for real, thank you. Thank you. This game is incredible. It's been running for 10 years, and no, I haven't been here for 10 years. I might have been here for 2 or 3. But in those 2 and 3, it's been an incredible experience. And when I tell you that the community is bar none, I mean it. It has changed me. Okay, so yes, I hope every single one of you get an incredible experience in game. Meet some people that make you incredibly happy, and you meet your in-game chosen family or FC or whatever the case may be. Truly. So again, thank you for bringing me to this adventure, and to many more.